Exileh. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on him to start things off, but he's a Vladimir.
They actually went to the Raptors and we missed it. See, he took away 2. Exactly what you need to do. So, prevents the level up from move on the next camp.
Yeah, they were working out. First game, definitely worked out early on. And Exileh's right back up to health as Febiven is forced to chomp down on a biscuit.
Yeah, and Spirit's going for the conventional kind of power clear, doing all camps. Most junglers right now on this patch, when they play like Rekkles and Gragas, they go for leash on one camp, either Krugs or Gromp. They go to the 1 buff and then they rush to the next buff. It is a quick 2 buff start that leaves you free of invades and counterplay. Move right now is going for power clear into Scuttlecrab and then path forward, hoping that Spirit's not in his jungle. It's interesting. He's really solidifying topside vision control and then going back to his jungle. There is a world where his jungle is now gone. I don't think he has the information that Spirit's not in his jungle, so this is kind of a guess or a read on Spirit. Spirit is just going for his full clear and probably like won't get much done in top lane. Drop a ward and that should be about it.
Yep. Goes enough. Chachi's there, but he's not too far out of position, and that River ward was going to prove pretty clutch here as Febiven is finding it hard to deal with Exileh.
And they didn't even need to see that ward because by power of kind of deduction, you could know that he's there because if Elise has access to a red buff and is still alive at this point, you know exactly where Spirit is because he got a hard leash, he's in Italy, he's going to path from right to left on the map, and you're pathing from left to right, so you should know that this Nidalee is around. So Vizicsacsi should always be wary to not get dropped low enough to get in dive range. Fnatic alternatively also have a lot of information. Both junglers have been spotted out here, but it's Move who's going for more Scuttlecrabs, and it's Spirit who's going for more hard farm.
Yeah, we'll have to find out who's going to have the better strategy in that regard, but like Move, even though he was held down in game 1, even though he didn't look quite as good in game 2, he's still been able to do so much more for his team. And you take a look at how these mid laners stack up. And Move is going to find YellowStaR and Rekkles as he tries to steal himself away at Gromp. But they find Rekkles. That damage is getting big. Summoner heal used. Magical Journey's out, but they take their time. And YellowStaR follows into a whole blessing of unicorns.
Teleport as well. Bottom right of your screen. 2 TPs now. This is a fiesta.
Oh, it is. Some kind. And YellowStar is forced to flash away. Febiven had already done it. That's 2 quick flashes burned on the side of Fnatic. No one goes down. No first blood just yet.
All 10 members got the scenic route of the bottom part of Summoner's Rift. Let's see at the top lane wave how it is behaving, because that's what you need to look at. It's pushing away from Vizicsacsi. This is good for Kikis. Like, he's going to get a frozen lane in front of his tower. Vizicsacsi right now is bleeding farm.
Yes, indeed. Hylissang and Veritas continuing to bully, push up, and something we didn't talk about, but another Infernal Drake start. I mean, this has been like a blessing for unicorns, and Hylissang makes a little bit of a mistake, but he's got a journey, and that was pretty magical.
Yeah. Only with Bard can you play like... can you play at enemy turret?
I believe
get a third
an EU mid laner once said, nice champ.
Nice champ, by the way. You gotta add the by the way.
Oh, sorry, I'm not EU enough yet. It's been 2 years, I'm trying, all right?
It's really dangerous for me to hang out with those guys because I start talking like them all the time. Right now, Kikis is catching that wave. He's still down 6 CS here. He was the first one to teleport. Spirit looking to keep that minor CS advantage alive. In the end, not much came of it. But the problem was that the majority of flashes that were burned were on the side of Fnatic, it seems. 2 for 1.
Yeah.
2 for 0, actually.
Summoner heal only on Veritas, yeah.
So minor exchange in favor of unicorns. Febiven was allowed to base here on a decent timing. He gets the early Negatron cloak. It's really important into the Vladimir matchup because it really negates a lot of the poke and it allows you to still use your base damage to kill the minions. Like in a Taliyah matchup, you fight the minions, not the champion usually. And you just get the push pressure and then you can roll.
Yep.
Ooh. This is gonna fail one time because that pillar can block off the entrance of the portal and knock you out of it. So it's a dangerous game that Hylissang is playing.
It might bite him. And Fnatic right now, despite the fact that they are down 2 games, this early game does not look too terrible from them. As YellowStaR runs face first into a Meep slap.
Yeah, this is just it's Hylissang forcing the enemy support to not base immediately because he's faking the freeze. Because if you can freeze, you can hold more CS for your AD carry. The lane is not in an ideal spot. However, he will take so much damage eventually that he has to stop the freeze. But then the enemy support has to waste some time. It's like almost a gentleman's agreement. Like, you do this, I do this, nice.
Yeah,
icon base.
Get a nice little holding pattern for a while. So Fnatic, I mean, the game plan for them though, like you've got this Taliyah, you've got pretty early game and mid game power spikes out of the Lucian and the Nidalee as Kikis is going pretty low here. We talked about
creeps here though. Look at Vizicsacsi.
Yeah, he cannot keep this one up.
By the numbers, they add up.
They do.
He can park this in front of his tower though, get a bit of a freeze off, and then sustain back up here. There is Fnatic would like to dive this on level 6. The problem is they've used their teleport, and Vizicsacsi has stand united.
They're going. Veritas finds himself
Has a
blocked,
mouse.
but he's still under tower. He does have a mouse. He can dodge a spear, and he flashes as well.
Really well
And
played.
he sends Fnatic going back.
That's a really well play by Veritas. Does everything he needs to do. Sidesteps the spear and then flashes over, stays alive. Has lane control right now too. So Fnatic lose out on that play. Yes, they get a summoner. And more importantly, the communication was there. Everybody was calm and collected. Vizicsacsi did not have to use stand united. And because he didn't disappear, Move to go to top lane, and Kikis has to use his flash.
Yep. Unicorns have been freed up to do what they want on the map right now, and it's resulting in them having the pressure game. Spirit's going to have to smite that move down, and Hylissang, he's out once
he has to
again,
be careful.
followed by Spirit.
Use on cooldown.
Exhaust. There's going to be a Talia wall coming in. Hylissang's got to flash that one away, but in comes Exileh, looking to try and clean up Spirit, but he is deep in 3 Fnatic members' faces, and he backs out.
Yeah, and that's at that moment Hylissang knew he messed up, because if you use your Q, it's on a really long cooldown early in the game. And if you get tagged by Nilly Spear, Spirit's just going to chase you. Like, you don't have Q up ready when you get out of the portal, and you should always have that ready. Good punish there by Spirit. Luckily for him, the flash at least came at the expense of Reaver's wall.
But look at how things have started to change. Move is the one now counter jungling on Spirit, who does pick up at least his small raptor, so that's something. And that's just how it goes. Fnatic, they are still finding themselves on the back foot. And with such a storied, long history of success, you would think they would have a bigger head-to-head, but those 2 games we've seen earlier
made it back and even. They came into series 6 and 8, and because obviously the Unicorns are 2-0 right now,
it's all time.
they're looking for the victory.
Even after put themselves ahead on that series all time. It's a very storied one for sure.
In this best of 17, Unicorns looking to
They're
win.
playing the long game.
Yep.
Several players later in a couple of splits.
It's like when you play rock, paper, scissors, and you start at the best of 3, and they're like, no, it was best of 5.
Yeah.
No, best of 7.
Or tic-tac-toe.
Yep.
Take your pick. Sometimes you switch games. YellowStaR going in here to try and clear some more wards out, but
This
all
is
said
the
and done.
point where the lane breaks in terms of Fnatic's favor, because Sivir does not get combat stats from Milk. She gets mobility to get out of fights there, but both like Tempered Fate and On the Hunt are utility spells. But Culling and the Trundle ultimate give you Subjugate, had to look it up, give you so much kill pressure here. But right now, kill pressure on Vizicsacsi.
Okay, flashes first. And there's the twisted advance, flash
Nice.
forward for Spirit, and that's first blood.
Really cleanly executed here, not trying to juke or throw a spear out at the risk of juking, waiting for twisted advance into flash connect spear, shift forms and execute there, and they're looking to trade a turret for Dragon here. It's a race though. We need to look at the turrets too, but it should handily go to Fnatic.
Yeah, that's going to be the first dragon, but we know that hasn't necessarily been as valuable as the first turret gold. And Fnatic should be the ones picking that one up since they only had Veritas on the tower itself. So with Spirit, Kikis backing away, Spirit finishes that one off, gets himself the gold, and Fnatic get to pocket the rest of it. They have themselves a gold lead.
Yeah, and they bounce the wave here, so they make it so that Kikis after this play can still farm. Look at how they took their time killing the turret. It's not because they couldn't do it any faster. They waited for enough enemy creeps to die so that when the waves meet, yet again, the next blue wave at the remnants of tier 1 tower top lane of the Unicorns, the next blue wave will arrive sooner. It'll push in and it will bounce back, and the minions will push towards Kikis, who can then comfortably farm under this tower, as well as forcing Vizicsacsi to overextend farming that lane.
So Fnatic have definitely still got a few tricks up their sleeve. They find themselves with this lead, but they are going to need to keep it going if they want to fight themselves back in this series. Remember, 2 games down. They're still looking for their first win and to try and drag the series out.
This
a little bit
Maokai
longer.
pick is in a good spot right now. One persistent trade for the
Early Merc trend.
minor CS deficit. He can get a taunt really easy. He's no longer at risk of really dying to an all-in of Elise and Shen, because he has so much magic resistance already. So the top lane is kind of secured here. Kikis has his teleport ready so he can join bot side. And Fnatic, they have the kill pressure in the 2v2 with Lucian Trundle versus Sivir Bard. So there is a lot more risk right now for the Unicorns in the way they're playing their lanes.
Well, you know, we always think maybe you go up 2 games like this and you might start to play a little more reckless, a little more cocky in that case, but it's just not happening here. Unicorns are unable to find any more. They do get the taunt off of top side, but Kikis is nice and healthy, and Chachi's just going to keep wailing away, but that bark is tough.
Yeah.
Not much else to be said for it, but I mean, Fnatic, you know, they've curled, defense curl, you know, it's a reason it's still a decent Pokemon move, because sometimes when you're backed against the wall, you need to be able to find a way to outlast and outlive, and this seems to be the game plan.
Sending their jungle to the bottom lane because he has no role to play in top side of the map, no role in mid lane area, because it's just a kind of farm and push thing that Febiven has already covered. Vizicsacsi right now,
Move, on the other hand, yeah, he's coming. So the
Looking
taunt
for Kikis.
is
Let's
not
see.
there. There's the repel. He does jump forward, point blank. That's going to be the Vengeful Maelstrom and the flash at a Kikis.
Yeah, he's safe. Good magic resistance. This means there's a cross-map play possible. Kikis can base and go for teleport bot lane. Move cannot arrive here in the bot lane, so Vizicsacsi can join, but this will still be at best a 5v4.
They're going to on the hunt here. Short-range magical journey just to get to the other side of the turret. Teleport's coming, and Febiven's coming right into the taunt of Vizicsacsi, and now it is a party in the bot lane, and that was not a good Bard ulti at all. Rekkles is managing to take out Veritas, but meanwhile Febiven goes down. No one's happy with that play.
Yeah, I said 5v4. That was under the assumption that Exileh would roam down and join this party with his ghost, but Unicorns did not see it coming, and they had a 5v3. But even in that exchange, because they played it so well, it's only a 1-for-1 here, so Unicorns with a magnificent defense on the play.
Yeah, they did lose Veritas, but he was dead to rights in any case, and Chachi, they just played that out well. 13 minutes on this clock now. Still, only the first tower had fallen up in the top side.
And the wave is in a bad spot top lane too. We'll get back to that later. This is how it all starts. So Kikis is low. He's telling his team, guys, we can dive bot lane right now because Spirit's going from behind. Spirit does not connect. This portal here is so good because it throws people off that they're suddenly behind the enemy turret. It gives more time for Shen to land. Veritas is exhausted. Nobody gets access. Everyone gets an instant taunt into cleanse. The Bar ultimate misses just a little bit. Let's just chunk it down to a zoning ulti. And as Febiven walks back into Boomerang, he just gets punished here. So the 1-for-0 quickly turns into a greedy 1-for-1. Mistake by Febiven.
Unfortunately, there you definitely need a lot more than that if you want to try and knock down the turrets, get themselves a successful dive. So still low kill game at 14 minutes in, 2-1. Fnatic holding that gold lead, but it is not huge right now as Exileh finds a kitty cat in his lane. He's trying to dodge out from Febiven, turns on the emo plague. He keeps on running, but he's going to get shoved right into them. Pulls out.
The heal from Italy is enough to kind of avoid 100-0 here. Exileh looking for more sustain here, but he kind of escapes that gank by not burning a single summoner at all. So the pressure right now is being put on Fnatic right now. Down 2 games in his best of 5. They're only up 1,000 gold anymore. They really need to make the next play stick here because Vizicsacsi has a global advantage, which means Fnatic are at risk of having happen what they're trying to do earlier. A bot lane dive. Hylissang can just simply ulti the tower plus a couple of members. They can set up for a dive, and then it's very easy for the Unicorns to pull the trigger.
Yeah, they've got teleport available for Vizicsacsi should they want to use it, clearing the wave out ahead of time to start pushing this one forward.
Yeah, and look at Exileh because he now has the push because he has level 11 over Febiven. Despite getting ganked, he had the control here. Unicorns looking to pull the trigger.
And there's on the hunt. That's the one popped. There goes the Bard ulti, zoning YellowStaR right back into the team. The Boomerang comes on back and moves, sinks his fangs in for the kill. A double slap there onto Spirit and Rekkles. Hylissang, they can get this tower easy.
Yeah, Hylissang played it so well. He goes for the flash Q saying, you know, if you stay, you're dead. You have to flash. Then he goes for a double Bard ultimate, forcing one flash on Rekkles and forcing YellowStaR at the same time to juke forward, leaving him no escape path for the cocoon that followed. Unicorns as a team in unison, they leave YellowStaR with 0 escape options despite him playing it as best as he could. He still dies and they take him down.
And that's calculated moves by the Unicorns. So with that, they just about even up the gold. Chachi and Kikis continue to slug it out up in this top side, but Chachi does not have a tower, and Spirit is coming around the backside. He has to be careful if he wants to survive this one. Arcane Smash, and it is tagged in the kitty cat. Chachi still hanging firm. He's going to taunt away, trying for the dodge. He does get it, the flash forward. Not sure if that's what he wanted. The spear connects.
He was trying to dodge the damage with the flash, but it still hit him just a bit, I think. Maybe if he got over a wall somewhere, he could have survived. Chachi honestly overextending. He has no place being that far up when an Italy could join him in that duel.
As he found out, so Fnatic, they get another kill onto the Nidalee. Spirit trying his best to get big.
Yeah, but they only lose the blue buff, and Vladimir doesn't really need it, nor does Move at this point. So, considering that Move is spending all his time really on the bot side of the map, setting up for the next dragon, they're actually okay here. They don't lose too much. The turret's also not getting chunked on the top lane, so it is just a kill. If a kill leads to an objective, yes, it matters a lot, but in the scope of things, it only snowballs Spirit further just a little bit. So unless Spirit really finds a target with his next 2 spears and gets an assassination, the kill doesn't mean that much in the grand story of the game.
And Unicorns, they've been the ones that have been able to secure objectives off the back of kills. This time, they just do it by virtue of knowing Spirit was in the jungle, clearing things away. Fnatic were not in position to contest the Cloud Drake, so at 17 minutes, they secured themselves a bit of extra movement speed out of combat.
There's a lot of target lockdown here.
And a lot of get out of target lockdown.
Yeah, but if this happens later in the fight, Kikis does Twisted Advance. YellowStaR puts his Subjugate on the target. Even if it is Vizicsacsi, this guy will melt. So there is a lot of potential to 100-0 a single target on the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, double meep slap comes in once again. Hylissang playing without a whole lot of fear as the pink board is looking pretty tasty, but in comes Veritas on the hunt and Spell Shield right ahead of time. Spear is dodged. And now they're looking for YellowStaR yet again. He has nowhere to go, and Veritas polishes him off with ease. There goes the ultimate, a little bit too late or a little bit not in the right spot, but it doesn't matter. They bring Chachi to the party and take down Rekkles, demolishing him where he stands. And now they are moving for Tier 2 tower.
Hylissang landing a couple of clutch bindings here. It was merely a distraction, the Tempered Fate. Awaiting the carriage that was Shen plus Vladimir. Oh no, he's man-moding it right now.
He's trying the best he can, but Spirit realizes this is an isolated 1v1 right now, and Hylissang, he has no flash available, but all of a sudden it's the bait! Veritas looking to chase him down, but he's caught himself.
Oh,
who's baiting who? Febiven taking out Move, and he even manages to secure another kill onto Veritas. The triple for the Talia before he's shut down by Exileh. Unicorns play that one sloppy.
Yeah, who was baiting who there, but it was Hylissang that set that play up for failure here. The magical journey, it was simply too deep. Hylissang, major mistake there. Sucked in his team into that play too. Could have just said, right guys, oopsie, let me die. But now 4 kills go to Fnatic and this game turns on its head.
Yeah, that got a little bit crazy, a little too fast. And meanwhile, Kikis was getting free time on the top tier too. So Chachi's back and he is putting up the defense here, but there's still a level disadvantage. The taunt doesn't go where they wanted, and Spirit is even able to peck away at this turret. This could really give Fnatic some much needed gold.
Yeah, this is a throw if we've ever seen one. The House of Cards starts falling down, and Fnatic with a fantastic punish. They kept fighting in a situation where they were down so much. Look here, they're overextending in the bot lane, going aggressive on the bar, double stun queued up, all avoidable. There's still portal available, so this Hylissang was always fine, and like, I don't know what Fnatic is trying to achieve with this play. It almost reeks of desperation. Right now, Hylissang goes for a really long-range Tempered Fate, only to kind of just force Rekkles to droop back, and that puts him in a position where Exileh can always snipe him out. So right now, Unicorns of Love have taken out 2 members. They have access to the turret. They get a double stun reset. They don't have a wave, so they just reset the play here. Okay, here's the wave. They do have one. But as it falls down, look, the wave's gone, and they're forced to tank the turret. Well, Hylissang is going ham. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Maokai is pushing. This is a complete macro error. Look at how low they are, and then Febiven comes in beautifully with damage here. That flash aggressively inwards puts him away from the Exileh EQ combo too. So that was really well played by Febiven.
He does manage to come up pretty big, and Febiven is a player that we've criticized quite a lot in the playoff performance. Not a lot of games that he really had, but it just wasn't up to snuff. And we talked about it even on the desk. I mean, this is a guy who's not been at his 2015 form for a while now, but that was a glimmer of the Febiven that was.
If he ever's going to come back, it's after being handed 3 kills on a pink platter.
That's for sure. He's got himself a few more shiny items there. Unicorn's looking to control this Dragon Pit, but there's nothing to really take at it. Aside from just having the vision on the river, Spirit back in his own jungle, still trying to take away some Gromps. All those things, Unicorns clearing away a few more wards of their own.
It's really important for Unicorns to not allow Fnatic to have any flank wards. That's fine, he's out of range for the leap.
He didn't have a mouse.
Well, he had Fog of War, then it doesn't count.
Okay, fair enough.
But if Fnatic can find a flank ward with the Maokai and teleport in, that's their ideal way of defending these objectives. But right now, Unicorns, their whole setup that they love to do so much, they can't really do anymore because they have the Shen in the bot lane. Sivir's dealing with the wave in top. So this Ocean Drake that they're prepping, maybe they'll switch it up back later. It's being rough because right now, they don't know where Nidalee is, I feel like. Nidalee could be ganking Sivir right now, and Unicorns could be dead to rights. Look where he's backing too. Really bold base here from Veritas, moving that deep into the lane.
Vision game from the Unicorns has definitely lacked a bit more this game, and you know we entered 20 minutes, 22 minutes into this game, and now Unicorns still in this goal deficit. Fnatic doing work with what they have, even though Febiven does back within Vision. Doesn't really matter since Unicorns can't do too much about that right now. They've sent Chachi down bottom side, and they're just trying to damage control on the side waves, get what they can do. They have chip damage on quite a lot of these turrets, but they just haven't been able to mass an attack to finish the job.
Yeah,
although Veritas should get mid.
Yeah, next objective is that tier 1 tower for the Unicorns, and I hopefully want to leverage that into...
Here's the Baron pit.
He's fine. Just a little chunk. Tower falls, which gives them access to the map, which can give them access to the setup for either Baron or Dragon. Unicorns could lean left on the map.
Exile. He's going way deep. They get the taunt on, and they turn forward for Rekkles. Here they have the damage. Full Culling comes out. He's getting himself some health back, but not enough. Too little, too late, but it is a party up top. And now Chachi misses the taunt he wanted. Hylissang is going to have to temper that fate of YellowStars right now as Chachi is looking to get out of town. Move is tagging his way in. They found Kikis, but that tree is just too tanky. Another taunt. Move sinks his fangs and finds another kill. And Spirit, they're looking for even more.
How
Not
the
enough.
hell did Veritas survive that? Everybody from the Unicorns threw their bodies in front of him, trying to block the spears, block the damage. Hylissang came out big, looking for a couple of Bart slaps into Spirit's face here, but that was so close. Looked so good for Fnatic for a while. Rekkles did the best he could on that dive. Aside from now being in that spot, there's not much more he could have done. But then the Unicorns end up winning that fight so surprisingly well.
22-minute Baron attempts right now. Spirit's still here. He has gotten a little bit of health back from some heals. Throws the Spirit just to sits the Unicorns. That's going to get smited down by Move. Unicorns of Love picking up the first Baron of the game.
Yeah, he had no vision in the pit. If he had vision in the pit, he could have leapt forward and execute that Baron. This is how it starts here.
Exileh just ignores YellowStaR.
If you're Rekkles right now, you're not having fun. Like, this is... What more can this guy do? He jukes a taunt, puts in the culling, and then look at Veritas walking into this fight. He is on 20%, enters, Kikis gets him. He gets the heal, Cocoon. Block one spear. YellowStaR can't get there because of a double taunt. There was a stun on the Kikis too, and then Boomerang Blades or Ricochets rather keep him alive. So close to dying, and if this guy lives, it means that Baron goes down. If he dies, it means that Fnatic have one more shot in this series. But right now, Unicorns again with a crucial Baron. That's 3 for 3 in this series. A really early Baron on the back of a pretty chaotic fight.
The Unicorns coming out on top in that one. They've got themselves right back in the gold lead, and although Fnatic were able to finish off bottom tower, well, look what's happening in mid. It's going to be another one for Unicorns with the Baron-empowered minions. The last of them, they managed to take this out. Finally can finish off the tower in the top with Exileh, and they are right back in the 1-3-1 game.
Yeah, 1-3-1. Vladimir with Baron buff. Like, there's... If you can hold them in a duel, maybe. With the Baron buff, it's so hard to play against. The only way you can get them is if you can catch them, and they have On the Hunt, Magical Journey, and Goons to kind of peel you back here. A little bit bold here, Spirit. Aggressively defending.
He does get himself the red buff.
Time Weaver's wall
They've
has...
cut off Exileh, but not forever. That's not the greatest wall we've ever done seen, but Spirit exhaust on him, and they bring Stand United over to Exileh, trying to distract from the rest, and YellowStaR runs right into the rest of the Unicorns. Meanwhile, they get the taunt off onto Spirit, chasing him down. Move is putting a whole lot of damage out. YellowStar's going to fall to Veritas. The Baron-empowered minions are doing work. The tower's trying its best, but Fnatic are starting to fall apart. A double kill over to Veritas, and that's going to be a tier 2.
Hylissang's Bard has been a pleasure to watching this fight, weaving himself in and out. Vizicsacsi as well, walking into spears, making sure that they create space for their carries. Exileh and Veritas have had free access to whatever they want in all these fights because Unicorns as a team are convincingly winning them.
25 minutes in, they're on to the base. They've got themselves inhibitor number 1. Chachi went back and teleported right back into mid. He's pushing a wave, leading it forward. Fnatic struggling here as Move just barely gets out with his life. Fnatic have not missed Worlds since Season 2. That's about to change.
Yeah, it's about to change. It's the only World Final that they've missed. They've done so well in many others. 2 semifinals, 1 victory in Season 1. You can say if it's much or not. Another Magical Journey.
Mode.
Q is up again, so Spirit's
gonna
die.
Oh no, he can't get the job done. Exileh shuts him down. YellowStaR is in the mix. And Hylissang lives. Move lives.
Move has to run here. There's nobody who can close the gap because this time, if Nidalee falls into a bar tunnel, he has Q up again at the end of it because he's building plenty of CDR. Locket, Ionian boots
And
here.
look,
And now
Veritas, what the hell?
Disappears.
Febiven. He didn't know what hit him.
I mean, 2 ricochets and a boomerang.
Ah, that's
And he has plenty of time to click Death Recap right now.
holy crit, man.
It's all falling down right now.
Okay, let's take a look at this again.
So you think Exileh is telling them, I'm not like caught in here with you. You guys are caught in here with me.
He barely gets tagged by the culling too. Okay, more on the backside of it. But then,
Takes it just for a motivational boost, make me angry.
yeah.
Hulks out. Maokai stop. Febiven poke. Turn around. Look at Hylissang flanking in these fights with the double Qs. His next Q is going to force a flash, I think. He's going to walk around. And he's going to force a potential double Q here on the bot side. Kikis is trying to peel. Febiven has to flash that one. Otherwise, him and Rekkles would have gotten stunned. Veritas and Exileh untouched because there's so much dooming fed. Taunts, cocoons, bindings coming out. It's so hard for Fnatic to play this comp from behind.
Yeah, and now they're going to have to worry. Yeah, Febiven knows.
Yeah, I mean, we have to,
It's
like,
a bad
as much
situation.
as we can criticize it, it has to be
The wall.
the worst feeling in the world to miss a World Championship.
Okay, they turn onto Veritas, but look at that. Chachi had already had the ultimate on for him right now. Veritas is still hanging strong. They're gunning for him here, but they just can't finish off the job. Rekkles, yeah, they managed to get the shutdown. It was YellowStaR that did it, but they've lost Febiven and Rekkles in the back of it all. Exileh chasing down onto Spirit. There are no Fnatic members left, except for Kikis and Spirit. Exileh's going the extra mile, and he finishes on top of Fountain. That is going to be it. 27 minutes into the game.
They catch the AD carry Veritas, but Spirit's refuge was enough to keep him alive. Really good by Vizicsacsi. That zoning spell blocked the all attacks, kept him alive, and then Unicorns win the fight right now. Hylissang is toying with Kikis, but the Nexus is going down.
The Nexus is going down. There's nothing left right now. Fnatic, they're going to get taken out. Unicorns, they're going to complete the sweep. 27.5 minutes in for a final showdown with Splice.
Okay, guys. We have something to improve on.
Unicorns of Love
Together to make it.
get themselves one step closer to the World Championships.
No problem.
They've never been in, but they have never looked so good coming up.
As a team.
And honestly, redemption for this team as well.
1,
They
2,
came in to playoffs. Number 6 seed, I believe.
They showed up.
They showed up, and they can confidently call themselves a top 4 team at the least right now in Europe. The way they ended this split. They fought Giants. They fought Fnatic. Right now they're getting congratulated by former jungler Kikis.
Oh. Well, remain certainly confident enough. I hope it's not a permanent marker, but
Hopefully this win gets them plenty of sponsors so they can afford a notebook. So their manager doesn't have to
ride on himself
ride
anymore.
on his body.
Well, he goes the extra mile, and the Unicorns of Love were just charging out of control. They have not dropped a game in the gauntlet so far.
And this